Hello friends, I'm Milo, and this is Teller. And this is our van, Dottie. Since uploading my van tour video, so many of you have asked some great questions about my build. In this FAQ series, I want to do my best to answer your questions and help guide those who may want to do their own van build. This video is all about the cost of my build. I'll have links to most of the products I use in the description, and you can also see a complete outline of my gear with links at milomaloy.com/gear. One thing I want to note, I was able to save a lot of money on my build by buying items used online. If you were going to go through my gear list and buy it all new, your totals would be higher than mine. Just a little disclaimer for anyone trying to recreate this build. I'm breaking this video down to answer 3 questions. How much did the van cost? How much did the conversion cost? And what is the total amount I've put into this van to get what I have currently? If you're impatient and want all the answers now, I get it. Here you go. The first question is easy. My van is a 2013 Ford Transit Connect, and I bought it with 151,400 miles on it. The purchase price was $7,384, and that's including taxes and registration fees. For the conversion, here's what I spent. Installation costs were $206.81. I used 3 types of insulation in my build: Reflectix, foam board, and spray foam in the gaps. The subfloor, vinyl flooring, and lumber for all the framing and furniture cost $432.39. All the knobs, hinges, screws, and other bits needed to construct everything cost $126.87. All of the wood paneling for the walls and ceiling cost $215.10. The wood paneling is one area where you could definitely spend less if you don't make as many mistakes as I did. Always pre-drill your holes, friends. This wood is really, really thin. Along the way, I created a couple variations of my build out of cheap material until I was sure about my layout choices. All the wood, hardware, etc. I spent on these version 1 furniture pieces totaled about $84.66. I'll be leaving this amount out of the total conversion cost since it's not what ended up in the final version of my build, but I wanted to be transparent about my build process. The cost for all my plumbing came out to be $242. This includes things like my sink, my fresh and gray water tanks, all the hoses and fittings, and the water pump. My bed is a pull-out style couch bed combo that I built to also house my battery setup and my pull-out kitchen. The big money eaters for this piece are the heavy-duty drawer slides that are rated for up to 500 pounds. These alone cost $200, but were totally necessary for the function I was looking for. The cushions for my couch bed were made by me and my mom, and we spent about $40 on materials. The cost for creating my 2 fold-down tables was $45 for the wood and the hardware. I get asked about these brackets quite a lot, so the link for these is in the description. The hardware for my sliding door that is used to access the cab and the living space was $58. I put black felt in multiple places around my build to help cover up unsightly surfaces. I spent about $30 on felt in total. Getting into the electrical bits of my build, I spent $970 constructing my electrical setup. That includes my Goal Zero Yeti 1000, my solar panel, the cables connecting the two, my lights, my fan, my outlets and switches, power strips, and all the wiring and connectors. In my cab, I took out my passenger seat and made a platform for my dog, and to store my e-bike. The materials for this came out to be $70. Lastly, my safety items. Things like my fire extinguisher, my fire/CO2 alarm, and my first aid kit. I spent $54 on these. To get to this point, I spent $2,747 on my conversion. I'm just going to stick to whole dollar amounts going forward. In addition to the cost of the van, the total comes to $10,131. And now I factor in all the stuff I've put into the van to make it a livable space. This includes things like my dishes, my cookware, my tools in my garage, my camp bathroom setup, and everything to create my office workstation. It also includes all the decor items that I put into this van to make it feel like a little cabin. The total cost for all the items I put into the van came out to $733, for a total cost of $10,864. Going off my total cost, the two categories I spent the most money in were building materials and electrical. I was lucky enough to be able to find so many of my build items secondhand, so that drove my costs way down. But the building materials is certainly where I had to splurge on new purchases. Here's a recap. I spent $7,384 for the base van, $2,747 to convert it into a camper, and $733 to make it into a livable home. For how much this van means to me, I don't regret any part of it. I learned so much while doing this build, and I know I'm going to be able to carry that knowledge and experience onto my next conversion, and hopefully do it for even cheaper. Once again, I will put links in the description for a lot of the products used in my build, and you can also see a complete list on my website, link in the description as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this gave you a good idea of how much a conversion like mine would cost, and please let me know what other Q&A topics you'd like me to go into more depth on. Thanks again!